And good afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Yeah, the fun of setting up a stream. And, yep, LGM, hopefully you will be able to see this. There's a little bit of time delay because my internet sucks, apparently. So, yeah. This redundant bullshit. So, apparently, now that YouTube has updated everything, and OBS is in the midst of updating everything, which adds so many more features that clearly I did not care to pay any damned attention to. So, yeah, Fezzik, yeah. It's amazing what will happen when, I don't know, a little competence is shown. But, so, I'll probably trim the first part of this out. But today we are getting into the first of the Senate primer. So, buckle up, it's going to be a stupid ride, just because, a little background, right now the primaries are still going on. Which, fine and dandy, but the big thing is we have this small selection of 6 states. Only 2 are worthy of being talked about, and yeah, we'll see how this goes. And I do beg everyone's indulgence. I've got a little bit of a cough going on, so I might need to take a few mutes here and there, just in case. But let's dive right into it. So, well, by dive right into it, I do mean lay out what I do. So, what this is intended to do is go through every candidate that's on the ballot for each state, whether that's a large party, insignificant party, or independent. And that way, you all can kind of get an idea of, well, who's actually running. So, obviously, using Ballotpedia, just because it's fairly thorough, it doesn't get into the weeds too deep. But that said, we're primarily going to be focusing on candidates' websites. So, we are off and running, and yeah. So, our first stop is going to be the state of California. So, the primaries have happened on March 5th, so a little ways back. And we have Steve Garvey, Republican, California. So you know he's just a placeholder throwaway candidate. Just that is just what it is going to be. And, well, LGM, it doesn't take much to handle things better than Trim. So, oh, lovely. What everybody wants to see, an ad right at the beginning that doesn't just go away. So, I guess he has something to do with the Dodgers. Don't know. So, let's see. Oh, he was a bat boy to World Series champion. Yeah, okay, so he's a big baseball star. How does that translate in California's politics? I mean, they've had 2 actors as governor and a couple of real weasels. So, that's nice. Don't really care about his story so much. The vision. Let's dive right into his vision. Now, one, obviously, he has a big vision of himself. So, solving the homeless crisis. All right, fair enough. Let's see, priority to visit homeless shelters and those still living on the streets throughout California. It's important to me to hear those successfully help them and those who still struggle with the worst part of their lives. So, that's fine, but that's not really... That's not a Senate level issue. It just isn't. That's just no. Improving Californians' quality of life. Improving quality of life. Yep. The cost of every aspect of our lives continue to rise, impacting every Californian. I was going to call them a cretin there for a second. Especially people least able to afford it. We must reduce government waste, and every vote I cast will be grounded in helping that. Again, this is like a state Senate, or possibly governor issue. Addressing crime and public safety. Again, this is a state level issue. This is nothing a senator should do. Just no. In the Senate, I will work with law enforcement to ensure the needs are fully funded and can effectively do the jobs we need them to do. Again, state issue. National security. Finally, something. A strong U.S. means a safer world with emerging threats around the globe. It is more important now than ever for the United States to renew our commitment to our alliances, our role in global leadership. We must invest in modernizing our military and achieve peace through strength. I mean, while I appreciate the peace through strength concept, I'm not really understanding where he's coming from. So, supporting our ally Israel yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Okay, so while this is... Here we go. As your senator, I would champion strategies that would safeguard Israel's security as a non-negotiable priority. The dismantling of terror networks essential for the stability of the region. In the Senate, I would be a vocal advocate for policies to strengthen Israel's ability to defend itself while seeking pathways towards peaceful coexistence in the Middle East. So, basically nothing has changed since like the 1970s with this statement. Reforming immigration with sensibility. I visited the border in December, saw firsthand the challenges we were facing. We were standing feet away from incomplete sections of the border wall in San Diego. A young couple from Venezuela, right in the front of our group, walked up to us and started crying and whining because the first half of their journey was concluded. Quickly approached by Border Patrol, processed for 72 hours, yada yada yada. I'm skipping the bullshit and just getting right down into the depth of what they're saying. This means we must secure our border while also respecting the dignity and aspirations of those who come here seeking a better life. Yeah. My plan is to develop practical pathways to citizenship for those who positively contribute to our society. We need an immigration system that supports our economy, line go up, and reflects the values of a nation. Yeah. Not really encouraging. But that's just me. Prioritizing water management. Again, state level issue. Empowering California's agricultural heartland. I mean, federal subsidies play into this, but that's really a state-focused issue. I mean, it's like he's running for governor, but he's got into the Senate race. Championing environmental stewardship. Yeah, just don't care. Elevating our education system. Yada yada yada. I mean, unless he's focusing on supporting our schools, teachers, and ensuring our students meet the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow. Again, this is a state-focused issue. Supporting Ukraine against Russian aggression. He stands with Ukraine against Russian aggression. We must continue to support them while seeking diplomatic solutions. American leadership is crucial in the global conflict. In the Senate, I ensure the U.S. plays a constructive role. Yeah. Putin cannot be allowed a victory in Ukraine. Well, at least it's a focus that a senator should have, but it just really doesn't add anything. So, in the news, again, trying to keep this as brief as possible. So, Steve Garvey for Senate, a man who's already basically, I would say, decided he's going to concede the election to the Democrat, who is old Shifty Schiff, current weasel in California's 30th Congressional District, and his term ends in January 2025. So at least he's technically still doing his job as a member of Congress. Technically. Originally from Framingham, Massachusetts. Went to Stanford, went to Harvard. His career experiences include working as a prosecutor for the Office of the United States District of California. Yeah. So, take of it what you will for old Shifty Schiff here. I think he's kind of a weasel. Oh, well, at least there's no pop-up ad. But I notice there's a little language button over here. A real language or Spanish. So, right matters, truth matters, democracy matters. Oh my. Oh my. And before he gets into campaign issues, he wants you to buy things. Right, truth, decency matters. I'm sorry, but whenever Democrats bring up decency, I really have some questions for them. So, all right. So let's do about Adam Schiff. Oh, look what he had here. Proven fighter for California. Adam Schiff is a proven leader who's earned trust of Californians by taking the toughest challenges facing our state and nation. From fighting for affordable housing, to ending homelessness, to defending our democracy, to lowering healthcare costs for working families to protect our planet. Yeah. That's what you want to say. Fine. Has been an effective leader by bringing people together to get results. So, a champion of democracy. Yeah. This is his claim to fame. Adam is perhaps best known for his work to protect our democracy. He led the first House impeachment inquiry and served as lead manager for the first impeachment trial of President Donald J. Trump. So here's your TDS. Securing the first bipartisan vote ever to impeach a sitting president. As chairman of the House Stupidity Committee, a member of the January 6th Committee, Adam was on the front lines of the struggle to preserve our democracy. uphold the rule of law, and hold insurrectionists accountable. Adam is the lead author of a landmark package of reforms to prevent future abuses of executive power and reinforce our democratic institutions. Yeah. Ain't that exciting? Let's see. Records of getting things done. See, again, this is this weird appeal in American politics to bipartisanship and working together, rather than actually delivering functional and practical legislation. So, let's see. Adam has brought together Democrats and Republicans to extend healthcare access for millions of Americans, to lower the cost of prescription drugs, invest millions of dollars in infrastructure so we can modernize bridges, airports, roads in California, and expand affordable housing. This is shovel ready. This is all of that normal, just stupid bullshit. I mean, that's all I can say. Yeah. Let's see. Sign bills into law, including a Patient's Bill of Rights. And this is when he was in the state Senate. So I'm taking it he's a lifelong politician weasel. Which, I don't care what party you're in. When you're a lifelong politician weasel, you really should not be in a position of power. You're just not fit for it. Just absolutely not fit. You don't really care. Grew up in the Bay Area, graduated Danville's Monte Vista High School before attending Stanford University and Harvard Law. Ah, yes, Harvard. Worked summer at his dad's lumberyard and a seasonal firefighter to help pay for school. Oh, respectable. I mean, I will give credit where credit is due. At least he had some work in the field. Greetings, Primed. Let's see. Yada, yada. Yeah. After law school, federal prosecutor in L.A., where he successfully prosecuted crooked FBI agent turned Russian spy. Take that for what you will. Federal Environmental Crimes Unit in Los Angeles, going after polluters and toxic waste dumpers. So he died in the wool greenie. Yeah. Married to a woman named Eve. Good on him. I think I saw somewhere on Twitter where he's like celebrating 30 years or something. So I'll give him credit where credit's due. An avid cyclist. Well, all credit that I'd given him is just tossed out the window. Let's see. Primed. Just want to check, Bleach. Do you know about the illegal representation bill that has been pushed? No, but that's on my list of things that I need to get into this week. And by week, I mean tomorrow. So, that's his about on old Shifty Schiff. Plans. Here we go. Accomplishment, defending democracy, affordability agenda, homeless and housing, and protecting our planet. I mean, this is a very thin set of plans. I mean, let's take that, protecting our planet. Oh, good Lord, it's just... There we go. Alright. I hate when there's just these boilerplate quotes. It's just stupid. Just, no. Let's see. In federal subsidies for fossil fuel production. States should adopt rules to advance environmental justice. Aha. Increase federal support for clean energy innovation and tech innovator hubs. Yeah, so the ARPA-E thing, it's basically just, hey, let's start bringing all these people into areas where we want them to be. But yeah, this whole thing on environmental justice, that tells you everything you know about a candidate. Increase grid resiliency through community-level microgrids. Climate change has led to more extreme weather, resulting in power outages across California. Increased grid resiliency by making it easier for communities to experiment with community microgrids. Address price gouging. So, what are you going to federalize? What, Pacific Northwest Power or whatever the hell it is? EV tax credit at point of sale rebate for all EV sales. Ambitious decarbonization date for the aviation sector. That just sounds dangerous. Making shipping greener, so we're going back to sale. Congratulations. Invest in last mile infrastructure. What is this? Many Californians lack reliable transportation between their homes and public transportation. Distance between public transportation and individuals in ending point on their journey. Now, that's first mile, last mile problem. So, he's promoting e-bikes. That's just stupid. It's going to be abused. Things aren't going to get charged. They're going to get destroyed. That's what happens when you have general use items like this. Just, it's a fine idea on like a college campus, but when it's citywide, stuff like that always gets abused. I mean, that's the kind of people that would vote for Schiff. Self-indulgent, hideous human beings. Once the Green New Deal, make national investment in battery repurposing program. That's interesting. Incentivize fossil fuel employers to keep displaced fossil fuel workers on. So they won't let them produce fossil fuels, but you damn well better keep paying them until they can get. Yeah. Let's see. Primed EVs are being abandoned by many companies and governments. Grid and location just can't justify the purchase and development. Yeah, you look at what was happening, and I think it was Wisconsin up in the Twin Cities area, which is no, that's Twin Cities is in Minnesota, so Minneapolis, St. Paul. Don't live there, just know they've got bad politics. But they went with the EV stuff, and I mean, wow, that was pretty dismal this year. When it's sub-freezing temperatures, batteries just don't last. Let's see, bringing tree-covered urban areas, low-income and environmental injustice impacted communities are less likely to have access to green spaces and tree cover than other communities. While it's a state-level issue, I just don't think this is really an issue to. This is just checking off a box for some advocate group. Best increasing access to parks and local communities, state issue. Increase federal investment in reconnecting communities divided by freeways. I mean, technically a federal issue, but not a really good one. California water infrastructure. Again, this is a state issue. Mitigating wildlife, state issue. I mean, I'm not even going to read what PFAs are because I sound dumb enough going through this. That was a slog. Hey, Marcus. So, endorsements. All right. Oh, Lord have mercy. Endorsed by Speaker Emeritus Nancy Pelosi. endorsed by 19 statewide labor unions. The California members of Congress, usual suspect. Yes, Gavin Newsom. What is that? Oh, other statewide officials. So we have labor unions, of course. AFL-CIO, of course. Communication Workers of America. What's that one? Boilermakers, International Longshoremen, SEIU. There we go. That's what you need to look for when you are looking at endorsements. You look for the Teamsters, you look for the AFL-CIO, and you look for the darkest and most evil of them, SEIU. And, more damn unions. Former members of Congress. State Senate. I mean, everyone that is in the Democrat Party is, of course, endorsing the guy. I mean, it's just the way it is. So, let's see. This is where it gets interesting. Democrat groups and organizations. So, Brady PAC, those are the anti-gun nuts from the 90s. Giffords PAC, because Gabby Giffords, more anti-gun shit. Nothing really. Muslim Democrat Club of Southern California, followed by the Jewish Democrat Council of America. So, yeah, exactly, LGM. Endorsed by the stuff you don't want to be endorsed by. So, titles listed for identification purposes only. All right, well, not that I care. And we'll take a little look at the store, because this is just ugly stuff. Get shift done? I mean, really? I mean, I'm all for a candidate kind of leaning into memes about them. But, I mean, look at this shit. I mean, it's not even put on the mug correctly. So it's just like, some cheap mug store. There's not even effort in advertising here. This is just sad and pathetic. All right. I am absolutely done with old Shifty Schiff for Senate. If that's the face of a man you'd vote for, that's fine. And I just have this problem with very entrenched politicians. He's just following the standard trajectory of playing the game. Yeah, exactly. LGM, yes, but the left can't meme, so it's just cringe. Agreed. And Marca, filibuster this badge with the middle finger. How edgy. I know, it's the Trump loves hate bumper sticker all over again. All right, so we are going to leave behind California, thank God, and moving to the great state of Indiana. So, the sitting senator is retiring. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. And Jim Banks, a member of U.S. House representing Indiana's 3rd Congressional District, been there from 2017, ends in 2025, serving out his term. Running for election for U.S. House in Senate seat in Indiana. Biography: prior to the House, worked in real estate and construction. Good. Began his U.S. Naval Reserve in 2012. Whitley County Council, Indiana State Senate, first legislator to take a leave of absence for fulfill service as an active duty member. deployed to Afghanistan in 2014 and returned in 2015. All right. And they're saying this is a battleground election in Indiana. I have a feeling that's not going to be the case. Because Indiana is kind of a, fuck you Chicago kind of state. Fuck you Chicago, fuck you Detroit, and fuck you the Ohio. So, why do so far the two Republican candidates we've covered both have had this stupid pop-up ad. At least it went away faster. Proven conservative leadership. All right, that's nice. Let's meet Jim. So Jim Banks, a native Hoosier, good man. Conservative running U.S. Senate seat for Indiana. Believes America could get back. Let's see. All right. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, no, LGM. That's coming later. I'm talking about the greatest state in the union right now, so I have to have a little reverence. But don't worry. I will get there. Let's see. No. It's one of these, going through the biography, it's like, that's nice. He's married. He has kids. Awesome. Kind of stayed in the area where he was born. Awesome. Fort Wayne is honestly one of the better parts of the state if you have to go to a big urban area. But it's still a city. All right, so issues. Secure the border. U.S. has seen record-high illegal border crossings under Joe Biden, leading to increased crime and illegal drugs flooding our communities. Excellent point. Jim's a strong and vocal advocate for securing our borders, implementing successful policies of the Trump administration, including building a physical barrier, reinstating return to Mexico, and led multiple delegations to the southern border. So this is a good topic for him. He seems to actually know what the hell he's talking about, and if he was saying deportation was high on his list, I would consider him a almost perfect candidate in that regard. Proud father of 3 daughters, Christian faith informs him the sanctity of every human life, is championed, unborn, and uses his voice for the voiceless to protect them from the violence of abortion. I approve of that wording. Let's see, Family Research Council, True Blue, 100% pro-life, pro-family voting record, cool. Let's see. Pledge to save the Hyde Amendment, which prohibits taxpayer dollars from abortion. Good. Like all pro-life advocates, Jim has celebrated the end of Roe v. Wade. We cannot stress this as victory. There is no more federal and state lawmakers to so he's going to. It's a good thing that it's back to the states. Support veterans. Okay. Deployed Afghanistan Operation Enduring Freedom. Jim knows the important. Yep. So this is again kind of post-Vietnam guilt that is basically afflicts every American, where you thank veterans blindly for their service, even if they really didn't. They were just a gold brick. But that's neither here nor there. Let's see. Prioritize national defense. As an Afghan veteran, member of the House Armed Services Committee and House Select Committee on China. Jim prioritizes our service members' ability to defend the nation against potential threat, while also being fiscally responsible as possible. We owe this to ourselves, generations of Americans, yada, yada, yada. Good. And Jim recognizes the Jim recognizes that communist China poses an existential threat to our national security and is committed to investing in our women and men in uniform so that we can maintain our military dominance and protect American people. Jim will always fight for national security that puts America first. Good. He actually recognizes that the Chinese Communist Party is one of the greatest threats. Oppose wokeness in schools and sports. Let's see. Jim staunchly opposes critical race theory and other propaganda, like the 1619 Project. Good. Jim knows how critically important it protects girls' sports. Democrats rewrote Title IX to force schools to allowing biological males to play girls' sports. Turn their backs on our daughters, yada, yada, yada. So, good basicness. Unleash the American economy. Let's see. Pro-growth policies. Produce low... Let's see. Yep. Tax cuts. That's good. Talking about skills gaps. So more federal aid to stupid stuff. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Reckless spending and reduce the national budget. Let's see. Talks about inflation. Good man. Secure our elections. This is interesting. Let's see. Clear goal to make it easy to vote and harder to cheat. Protect Democrat process. Restore public faith in the election system. Need to know without a shadow of doubt that their voices have heard and their votes are counted. Fought against Democrats' unconstitutional efforts to federalize our elections and introduced the Save Democracy Act, which ensured free and fair elections in 2024 and beyond. Common sense like voter ID, fair poll watching, and swift counting of ballots. Excellent. Back the blue. Okay, law enforcement thing. Stand with our ally Israel. It's basically just what he's required to say. So, yep. Let's see. Let's look at endorsements. All right. Members of state Senate and House, yada, yada, yada. All the Republicans that are basically required. Let's see. This is national endorsements. So, Mike Braun, whatever. I think that's the outgoing Indiana senator. Or it's Dick Lugar, I can't remember. Catholic vote, combat veterans. So, yeah, I mean, hell, just because he actually seems to be, of the candidates we've gone through so far, which granted is not many, he's the one that actually really seems to stand out and actually say something bold without making it just sound like, oh, I'm talking about state issues, ha ha ha. So, yep, that is Jim Banks of Indiana, like this stupid little pop-up thing, which is really making me mad. But regardless, so far, this is the only Senate candidate that would get my endorsement. So, moving on to his Democrat opposition. So, Valerie McRae, born in Indianapolis, graduated from Arsenal Technical College, PhD in psychology at the University of Michigan. Let's see. Experience includes clinical psychologist, Reset Psychological Services, Michigan Health something. I can't remember what MHM is. Don't really care. Let's take a real quick jump back. Doesn't really... I just caught something on hers. And that is... Yeah, it mentions her religion is non-denominational. I'm guessing Jim is possibly Catholic with the Catholic endorsement, but don't know. Granted, that really shouldn't have any bearing on somebody's ability to do their damn job, as long as it's something reasonable, shall we say? Yes, primed. Diversity. Indianapolis diversity, which that's a whole special thing in of itself. Let's see. So Valerie McRae website. Claim your political power. Wow, they really made her up heavily. I mean, does that look like the same woman in that picture and this little video clip? I mean, they really should fire whoever did that. It just doesn't look like the same person. All right, let's breeze through the about. Dr. Valerie McRae, working to become Senate, great state of Indiana. Well, at least she recognizes that. Born and raised nurtured in Indianapolis, Arsenal Tech. Yep. Before and after heroin pics, says LGM, and an Instagram filter. I mean, you're all correct. Let's see, 35 years in psychology, 25 licensed. How U.S. policies profoundly affect the mental well-being of our people. Work directly with veterans struggling with PTSD, incarcerated, desperate need of support and rehabilitation. Youth violence, yeah, well, that's in downtown Indy. Mental health clinician. Policy impacts lives of real people. Fair enough. I will fight for breathable wages. That's an interesting term. Unions, nope. Healthcare for all, women's right to choose, equal rights, everyone's streaming public educations, repealing Citizens United, so people, not corporations, can truly be represented. I'm sorry, I just see this Instagram filter and I see this guy over here. And, I mean, wow, there's just something goofy about the way the lighting is. Maybe it's just he's so white that he's all pasty. But anyway, I don't want to pick on the poor guy, but it's just funny how modern cameras will kind of deceive you in how somebody looks. Both compassionate and fierce, and relate to struggle for working class Hoosiers. Be the first African American on the Indiana ballot for Senate. Nobody cares. Can you do a competent job is more important than what your race or your sex is. Sorry. Not really. Okay, lots of people of pictures, cool, don't care. This is just, nope, don't care. All right, platform. It's one of these damned things. All right. Women's rights to reproductive care. Here's the important part. I will push for legislation that protects access nationally to abortion with FDA-approved medical procedures, defend access emergency medical care, blah, blah, blah. So rather than state directed legislation that she wants to do national. Well, it's I can appreciate that she's putting it on the right platform. I just think she's completely wrong on making it a national issue. Healthcare and mental health for all. Fundamental right for all people, not a privilege of wealthy few. Just get rid of Medicaid and Medicare and tax, and that's going to solve a lot of it. You make it cash-based, and you make state systems stronger, but you get rid of all this other higher-level bullshit. So, Marku, that one guy was so white, the filter, he seemed dead. Well, I mean, he would be voting either way. affordable housing. Again, that's a state that's a state issue. And when I'm in Congress, I will focus on ways. See, this to me almost sounds like she's kind of conceding. Yes, we kind of use Congress as a blanket term for members of the House of Representatives and the Senate, but usually I see senators referring to themselves as in the Senate or something along those lines rather than just in Congress. A little detail, but maybe there's, maybe somebody on her staff just doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. Breathable and beyond subsistence and union support. No. Tax reform, tax cut for the wealthy. Yeah, all right. Typical boilerplate language where, you got to pay your fair share. Whatever. Already did tax reform. Economy and fighting for the middle class. Again, just general boilerplate Democrat talking points. Focus on restoring economic security for the middle class and those working their way up to the middle class by passing legislation that rewards hard work for fair wages. That's a fine sentiment, but it kind of means nothing. Student loan debt reduction. This is a federal issue because the federal government in the U.S. subsidizes the hell out of the student loan program. It's just stupid. And that means they can basically dictate how universities operate, and this is a dramatically bad thing. But whatever. Immigration reform. Let's see. In fact, 70% of America say immigration is a good thing for our country and we need immigrants for our aging population. Wow. Okay, this is just a straight up lie as far as I'm concerned. Both legal and illegal aliens are significantly less likely to commit crimes than people born in the U.S., and a majority of drugs in America are not brought in at the border. Well, that's a bold-faced lie. We must stop using immigration as a scapegoat for America's problems. This fear-mongering is subjecting immigrants to exploitation, trafficking, neglect, and cruelty. So she's endorsing slavery. I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat it. That every time I read that kind of sentiment tells me that they are saying, yes, we want a permanent underclass. So, foreign policy. Let's see. On one hand, we support Ukraine's sovereignty and independence against Russia, but on the other hand, we enable the death and destruction of the Palestinian people and a constant encroachment on their land. All you need to know. Alphabet rights, equality for all. All Americans have the right to freely be themselves and marry who they want without the government stepping in to tell them they can or cannot. Yeah, that's a whole different topic, but it's like this line. I proudly fight against measures that aim to criminalize and punish members of the alphabet community. I will support the right for Americans to marry who they want, regardless of their gender, and will fight against efforts to revoke marriage equality. I aim bills that discriminate. Yeah, I will fight against bills that aim to discriminate. Yeah, whatever. Military and veterans. fine. Early childhood education. Again, this is the federal government getting further involved in the local level, which is the last thing you want to do. Energy and the environment. We only have one Earth. And with an ever-increasing demand for energy, we must do all we can to protect and preserve the natural resources. Fine sentiment, but there's always a caveat. Feel the incredible need to fund and the research needed to make our energy generation more efficient and our environments healthier and safer. I will fight corporate accountability measures. Well, fight for. Aim to reduce pollution, yada, yada, yada. So. You would think, Primed, that bipartisan efforts, again, this is just a million times the same stupid idiocy. Oh, Lord. All right, I'm going to guess, and I'll give it a weight, that I'd say 80% of the team are women, and a lot of them are white women. So I will give chat, I don't know, like a couple seconds to give me what percentage they think will be, female and, white pesky Karen lookalikes. So, yep. But I will say before we get on the wrap up here with Valerie McRae, she's much more aggressively progressive than Adam Schiff is, which I find surprising. Oh, Marcus says 100%. Prime 9 out of 10. White women allies. Yep. All right, let's find out. Oh, look, they actually have a Karen. Wow. So far, one man. 2, 3, 4 men. And I use that term just on biological terms, nothing else. Oh, yeah. LGM, mostly females, few beta males who undoubtedly male predators. I mean, feminists. So, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Ellen Stone here has her old Hillary shirt. Wow. That went about as you would expect. Well, that's nice. They're not keeping things up to date. That's congratulations. Your website is not helpful. Press with videos. So I'm not seeing endorsements. So I think we'll leave Valerie McRae behind and move to Andy Horning, the Libertarian candidate for the state of Indiana. Horning also was born in Indianapolis, bachelor's degree from Indiana University in Bloomington. Horning's career experience includes working as a senior production manager at Space Labs Healthcare, an author, an adjunct scholar at the Policy Review Board. Fair enough. So, well, he's not shy about his showing his face. And yeah, you're not wrong, Prime. So, let's see. Corruption, Government is bought and manipulated by foreign government NGOs and corporate cronies. And the uniparty Democrats, yes, we know, we know, Mr. Horning. Socioeconomic collapse, 34 trillion in debt. Okay, World War III, military-industrial complex, yep. And scientific, technologically elite. Ooh. I'm going to have to put that one on Bleach's list to go down, rabbit hole to go down. Millions of new foreigners and voters. Likely, as I write this, there are 40 million illegal aliens flooding our social, financial, legal system. Complex problem that's been building since the Reagan administration. Actually, longer than that, but yeah. He has written a book called Relighting the Torch. All right. Let's take a look at issues. All right. 3 main reasons. Our culture is self-destructing by the agency, 2 inheritively divisive organizations operating by campaign notion, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. Basically, he's pointing out that the Republican and the Democrat parties are private legal entities. Let's see. U.S. senators were intended to be the voice of the sovereign states in bicameral Congress, yada, yada, yada. We've not had a bicameral House in well over a century. I'm the candidate that will fulfill constitutional role. Good man. Basically, what he's talking about is the direct election of senators basically screwing everything up. I'm the only U.S. Senate candidate putting constitutional design on a ballot as option. Clear text, state and federal constitutions that our government is ungoverned and policies and yep, that's fair enough. So, primed who's his web manager? He needs to be fired or give some savvy new help. Yeah. And then, what is in the Constitution behind the sensitive content warning? Yeah, well, let's take a look. Oh, that's weird. It's an Amazon link. Oh, it's his book for some. What the hell is with this website? If Bezic, you need to go and yell at this man. Myers Bunk propaganda. You know, and this is the problem I see with a lot of libertarian and whatnot candidates, where they kind of go on these real political screeds where I might agree with them in philosophy, but I just really don't like them turning their campaign website into like this really big platform when they're just going to be a spit in the wind. And I really wish that people like this would just go, hey, you know what? I want to trim it down. He talks about having a blog site, and it's like, that's fine. But this is like a Substack article, not a campaign website. So, I just a note for Andy. Strip down your website. It's WordPress, so I guess that's our answer. Make it it doesn't have to be like super polished, but it just has to be taken down to its bare brass tacks to get your point across. And then we have Richard Kent. Independent, is running for election in U.S. Senate to represent Indiana. And because Ballotpedia is kind of a, it really is a useful website. So a little bit about Richard here. Let's see. Born in Indiana, born and raised. Ordained esoteric interfaith minister and a certified life coach in my personal life. Host of the Pagan Preacher podcast. A man for peace and coexistence. A man for equality. Let's see. Helping people help each other. Less government, more freedom. America's first in America. Okay. And let's see. Environment and equality of the people. Okay. He's been endorsed by the Ravensbrook LLC, whatever the hell that is. I'm not even going to find out. It's a waste of everybody's time. Marcus, maybe he should hire Ardent to design his web and give him a green card for that. I mean, it couldn't hurt. It really couldn't. And then the last candidate in Indiana is Sean Dada. I don't know. He's on the ballot. There's nothing really there. So I wish I could actually tell you something about the man, but you know as much as I do. All right. Moving on to Mississippi. So we have Roger Wicker. Too bad it's not Wicker Man, because then we could make not the bees jokes. Let's see. Running for re-election in the U.S. Senate to represent Mississippi. He was on the ballot in a general election. Sorry. My brain not work. Let's see. 116th Congress, highest Republican member of the Armed Services Committee. Senate. Wicker served 7 terms, beginning in 1994. Member of the House of Rep, Mississippi Congressional District, Mississippi State Senate, and Mississippi's Lee and Pontotoc. Yeah. So he's an average member. Biography, born in Pontotoc. There we go. Mississippi. Attended high school. Bachelor's, University of Mississippi. Juris Doctorate, 1975. Prior to his career, he was an attorney. Let's see. Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps. U.S. Representative Trent Lott of Mississippi. So he was on staff for a number of years. Air Force Reserve. Public Land Defender. Interesting. Mississippi State Senate. And then from 2007 to present, he's been the U.S. Senator for Mississippi. So, not huge. And, well, at least he doesn't have a pop-up. I don't know if that means much, but he doesn't at least have a pop-up. Okay, kind of an ugly website in this regard. There's no, like, position paper stuff. Let's see. Endorsements. That's nice. State House. That's nice. This is too bare bones. It's like he's got these little videos of him talking about policy, but I'm not. No. 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 What a awful, useless, ugly web design. That just... And for some reason it's saying my internet's slow, but whatever. So, as an incumbent, it's like he just doesn't think he needs to do the hard work. So here's his opposition, Ty Pinkins. Let's see. Born in Rolling Fork, Mississippi. Army from 96 to 2017. Bachelor's degree in political science and government. University of Maryland Global Campus. Eee. Juris Doctorate from Georgetown. In 2020, master's degree in national security law, yada, yada, yada. So basically, he was setting himself up to run for Senate, is the way I'm reading it. Presidential communications aide with the White House Communications Agency. So he's got kind of an inside position, I would say. Oh, finally a Democrat with a real trashy, hey, give me money. And no, I don't preload all of these to get rid of that. I do that just because, I want people to see how trashy some of these websites are. So. Oh no. Oh no. I'm surprised they didn't name him Toby. If you get that reference, you know. Son of the Mississippi Delta. Frustrated lack of action lawmakers issue facing the people of Mississippi, believing hard worker voters Mississippi deserve better. Ty Pinkins decided to run for office. All right. Jobs economy, yada, yada, yada. All right. Well, let us dive into About Ty. Let's see. Son of a tractor driver. Didn't come from a wealthy family. Born and raised small town Mississippi. Yep. Definitely a Delta boy. Grew up on cotton farms. Moved from plantation to plantation, depending on where his dad find work dry. I guess they're technically plantations, but I mean, there's a certain coded language right there. Started chopping cottons in the summer to help his parents make ends meet. I can respect that. Even at a young age, knew his parents were struggling to provide, yada, yada, yada. So. Yes, LGM, you get it. No primed. This is not the guy who was driving off the Democrat clan, because he's running for Senate as a Democrat. So let's see. Dedicated public servant, upbringing as Delta, always believed serving low-income communities, yada, yada, yada. Co-founded the Pyramid Project, nonprofit organization inspiring youth from low-income communities and providing career and academic. Cool. Realized many injustices and inequalities his family neighbors faced decades earlier, like poverty, underfunded schools. Did something about it, enrolled in law school. Fair enough. Let's see. Sat in observation of over 700 civil cases throughout the Mississippi Delta, helping low-income litigants struggle for justice. Community organizer. See, that community organizer is always one of those phrases you look out for. Let's see. Talk about workers and their rights and yada yada yada. So, well, I'm decent biography, I guess. Not too in depth, but that's fine. I don't want to know all the where alls and wherefores. So, oh boy. All right. Jobs in the economy, and I'm not going to go through all of them because we still have quite a few, and I've got a fairly hard time limit. So if I don't hit them all, I don't hit them all, and we'll come back and address it later. So jobs in the economy, healthcare, education, housing, women's reproductive freedom, alphabet people rights, environment, national security, immigration, voting rights, criminal justice reform, and common sense abdication of the Second Amendment. So we'll go and look at this one, because it's something different than the other candidates, at least. Let's see. When we talk about the need for common sense gun laws, it's exactly the balance we're aiming for. That's why I support legislations like H.R. 7910, protecting our kids, multiple facets of our current gun control, minimum age requirement, research points, majority mass shootings being carried out by young individuals. Doesn't really help. Given that our brain's impulse control areas aren't fully developed until 25, increasing minimum age for gun ownership is a irrational step. High-capacity magazines. Let's see, gun trafficking. Strengthening our stand against gun trafficking is pivotal. Chicago stands as an unfortunate testament to the problem of gun trafficking, as it suffers firearms brought in from states with looser regulations. H.R. 7910 aimed to amend this by expanding the definition of trafficking. That sounds like an article in and of itself. LGM, Democrats saying we should remove guns to protect our kids is a high level of irony. Yeah. Let's see. Safe storage laws. 1,400 children dying from gunfire. We must prioritize safe storage. Oh, it's the Australian solution. Not only protects children, but prevents thefts and account for around 3,800 guns. Well, 380 guns. Yeah, whatever. Assault rifle ban. Empirical evidence to suggest the 10-year ban on assault rifles did reduce the rate of mass shootings. It's no. Background checks concerning individuals can bypass through background checks through private sales and gun shows. That is incorrect. That depends on the individual state. Having had to process quite a few of those, I know quite well that you can't do it in most states. Red flag laws. Ah, yes, red flag laws. So, yeah, all right. Moving on. Congratulations, you're stating what you're going to do. Need to register, not sure how. I would say this, and I'm not going to go through it, but this is something I actually think is brilliant to have on a candidate's webpage. It tells people kind of like it tells you where to go. It tells you a lot of the basic voter information. Every candidate should do this. And LGM, how many of those kids were between 16 and 18 years of age? I mean, it's empirical evidence. Don't you trust the science? And, well, at least it's not this really cringy thing like Adam Schiff. All right, so We are going to move on from Mississippi. There's only 2 candidates there, and yeah, I don't think I need to say much more about Mississippi. Next is Sherrod Brown of the Ohio. Let's see. Abbreviated outline of his political career. So, since 2007, U.S. Senator from Ohio. From 93 to 2007, Congressman from Ohio. Ohio Secretary of State. Worked a member of the Ohio State University. Served as a member of Ohio Representatives. Graduated from the Ohio State University. And graduated from Yale. So, and again, I do like Ballotpedia when this stuff gets filled out, because you can kind of figure out where people go. Yep. See you later, Primed. And yeah, well, I just want to go through the primer. It's something that needed to be done this year. So, all right, let's go. Campaign support. I hate these pop-ups. I really do. Oof. Wow. This is another one of those. Incumbents really seem to have a very stupid view of how to run websites. Let's see. Dignity of work, concept inspired by, I mean, the dignity of work, that goes back far beyond Pope Leo the 13th and Dr. Martin Ling Jr. Yeah, I can't speak right now, apparently. Mansfield, Ohio. Corporations lobbied for tax breaks and bad trade deals and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. Lives in Cleveland with his wife, who doesn't share his name. But she is a Pulitzer Prize award-winning columnist and author. They drive Jeeps made by union workers in Ohio. Oh, dear God. Okay, he wears a canary pin. Steel workers gave him yada yada. Awful website. I'm not wasting any more time on Sherrod Brown. So, his opponent, Benny Moreno, whatever. Bernie is born in Bogota. Earned his bachelor's degree at the University of Michigan. Been affiliated with the Bluecoats. Let's see. Now that's... I thought it was the Blue Jackets. That was the... Yeah. Anyway, a little hockey aside. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Cleveland State University. Innovate, Ohio. Cool. Don't care. President Trump endorses Bernie for Senate. That's nice, but man, is that just awful. Let's see. Let's go into the about, if it will. Fights for America and dreamed because he lived it. Born in Bogota at age 5, his American dream began when he moved to the United States with his family. Became a citizen at 18. Purchased a used car dealership. Never looked back. Tameable, yada, yada, yada. Recognized the value and transformational potential of blockchain technology. Okay. Co-founded champ titles, state paper titles, yada, yada, yada. I don't like that. Most of his businesses, protecting American dream for another generation. Saw school shut down, China go unpunished for unleashing a virus upon the world. Yeah. For YouTube standards, that means economic. Yada yada yada. Well, he's running. At least he's got a 15-point plan. That's going to be quick and easy. Empower parents to make education choices. Secure America's borders. Stop amnesty and destroy Mexican drug cartels. Damn. Restore integrity in our elections. Massively reduce anti-growth regulations. Cut government spending and end inflation. Beat communist China. Hold big tech accountable. Break up big media. Protect moms, protect families, protect life by supporting ban on late-term abortion. Yeah. Power local law enforcement to ensure safe communities. State issue. Vigorously defend our constitutional right, especially the Second Amendment. Restore American energy independence. Allow free markets to work. Enact term limits for members of Congress. Hell yeah. Restoring American manufacturing. End wokeness and cancel culture. End socialism in America. I mean, damn. And it was quick, concise, not going down all these stupid little bullet points of, here, let's throw a paragraph and just say some useless words. I like that. Let's check endorsements. And the internet is being incredibly slow to load, or there's just so much junk. It's like they're full size images. So Trump, J.D. Vance, Jim Jordan. Let's see who else. Vivek Ramaswamy. Representative Warren Davis. I was liking this website until this. Rubio, Hyde Smith, Hagerty, don't know who. Kristi Noem. Carrie Lake. Mike Lee, Kristi Noem, and here it goes. Cynthia Loomis, Barrasso, yada yada. So a lot of the people you would expect. Let's see. And then, if you want to see all of the local endorsements, we'll click on a full list. Oh, good Lord. So, a lot of individuals, gonna breeze through that, just whatever. So yeah, that is Bernie Moreno, and yeah, I mean at least he's not trying to be edgy like Adam Schiff, but yeah. All right, so that moves us into Pennsylvania. We're second to last state, I believe. Let's see. Bob Casey Jr., 2007 to present. Pennsylvania Senate Treasurer, Auditor General, Catholic University of America, Holy Cross College. That's fine. Let's see what old Bob Casey. Again, just stop with just shoving it in your face. I know you want it, but it's like, stop. Okay. And here's this long boilerplate. Let's see. Public service and trust, given in faith and accepted in honor. Yeah. He's brought that to every office he's held. In Harrisburg, record, yada, yada, yada. He was elected in 2006. Worked to create family-sustaining jobs, foster financial security for Pennsylvania families, Again, state issue, not U.S. Senate issue. Protect our kids, ensure safety and respect in abroad, yada yada yada, and that's just useless. Let's see. Achieving Better Life Experience Act, which allows millions of American families from the U.S. to save for long-term care of their loved ones' disabled tax advantage. Oh, okay. I don't know anything about it, but as concerns rose across the nation about the dangers of campus sexual assault, Senator Casey Jr. took action and passed into law the Campus Sexual Violence Elimination Act. Campus Save outlines steps schools can take to educate students, prevent sexual... requires uniform reporting standards for sexual assaults on campus. If only that actually damn well worked. Howdy, Arden. Let's see, finished Empire of Lies. Figured you'd inflict yourself to this. Well, I mean, this is basically a Empire of Lies that we're going through, so... Actually, no, Arden, and this is just for the U.S. Senate. I probably should do just a brief detour into Brandon Herrera's campaign, but let's see. Let's just back to Senator Casey Jr. Crackdown on terrorist financing to lawmaking easier for small business, yada, yada, yada. So, tireless advocate for middle-class families, workers, and seniors. And then fair share, blah, blah, blah. News. And looking at another merch store. Oh, God. That is just... Holy shit. That's so ironically bad, it's not funny. He has the I Heart Maps. That's a meme. That's a frickin' meme right there. Holy shit. I call it greedflation and I'm fighting back. I'm calling it shrinkflation and I'm fighting back. Oh dear God. Alright. That Wow. He doesn't know what that means. He doesn't have any clue. Oh, that's just... that's almost painful how ignorant that is. And yes, I will be probably posting this in memes on the Sultan's server. That's the problem, Marcus. I'm not sure if he means cartography maps or maps that belong on walls. Oh, wow. All right. Composure, Bleach. Composure. David McCormick, running for Republican Senate. McCormick received his bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. How far have they fallen? With his Ph.D. in international affairs from Princeton. Ugh. Professional experience working as the CEO of Bridgewater Associates, an investment management firm, hence Princeton. Undersecretary in the Department of Commerce, Department of Treasury. Served as an 82nd Airborne Division during the Persian Gulf War. Well, that didn't work. Sorry about that. All right. Again, I hate it. Meet Dave. Get to know Dave. Get involved. I'm sure his wife is lovely, but I don't care because she's not running. And if she is, she should be on the ballot, not him. 7th generation Pennsylvanian, West Point grad, combat vet, Bronze Star recipient. Good on him. Pennsylvania job creator, yada, yada, yada. Born in Washington, Pennsylvania. I've been there. Son of 2 lifelong teachers, educators, yada, 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 yada. Went to West Point. As a, let's see. After graduating, went to the 82nd as a paratrooper. Well, you can't really be in the 82nd and not be a paratrooper. And yeah, he does look like a Mitt Romney-ish kind of fellow there, Ardent. It's just no gerrymandering here. This is a Senate seat. So, let's see. Bronze Star for his service and retiring as captain. Very good. Let's see. International studies at Princeton, career business, served again in 2005, Secretary of Treasury, Department of National Security Advisor, 4 years, yada, yada, yada. Dave spearheaded the fight to protect American technology from Chinese theft, advised President on key national security issues, helped negotiate global response to the 2008 financial crisis. Oof. All right. Lost the mouse. Involve Dave on issues. Inflation in the economy. Securing our border. Bob Biden and Casey Jr. Yada, yada, yada. Let's see. Has supported sanctuary cities and voted to give illegal immigrant taxpayer-funded benefits. Voted for Kate's Law. Yeah. As Senator Dave will fight to secure the border, put elimination to drug and human trafficking, and support border agents and their resources as they do their jobs. Cool. Under Biden administration, adversaries weakening America. Botched withdrawal from Afghanistan. Fair. As Senator, he'll work to restore America's military might, strengthen our defense industrial base, reestablish deterrence of adversaries, and not relinquishing superpower status anytime soon. Stopping violent crime, that's really a state issue. 47 sheriffs from across the Commonwealth have endorsed him. Well, that's good, but that's like you're running for governor. You should be getting that. Growing Pennsylvania energy sector, natural gas, stopping Biden, yada, yada, yada. Pennsylvania's position as leader in reducing emissions. Yeah, no. Educating Pennsylvania's children. Let's see. Again, state level issue. Preventing fentanyl from ravaging communities. That's a border control issue. Let's see. Harnessing America's innovation. Good man. Ending China's free reign. Well, he has actually observed some of the documents in his official capacity, supporting Pennsylvania's veterans. The VA is just fucked. Pennsylvania senator worked to connect veterans with job opportunities, private and public sector succeed in growing. Yep. Oh, is there? Yes. You are very correct. Election integrity. Need to beat our Democrat opponents in November by mobilizing everyone who wants better leadership in Washington, yada, yada, yada. Yep. Presenting photo ID and requiring ballots to be on election day and adequate observers. Yep. Abortion. Let's see. Pro-life but opposed to national abortion ban. Exceptions. I mean, yeah, there should be no national ban. Second Amendment. Supporter of the Second Amendment. Yada, yada, yada. For any lawful reasons, neither Congress nor states can take that away. Let's see. We need to expand our mental health program. No, what we need to do is return to actual institutionalization. Ooh, here we go. This one I like. Term limits. Because standing up for American values kind of... It has such emptiness anymore. Because, yeah, 24 weeks for the abortion thing. Yeah. That's kind of like... I think that's a good topic to readdress on Sultans at some point rather than the Senate primer. Yep. But yeah, term limits. Not a career politician like Casey supports term limits and will not serve more than 2 terms if elected to Senate. That's acceptable. Because I don't think anybody should be serving more than 18 years as a public servant ever total. So that could mean 2 years in the Senate and 2 terms in the Senate and 3 terms in the House. Usually I'm much snappier on this, but allergies. All right, so we also have the Constitution Party candidate, Marty Selker. And Selker is born in Clarion, Pennsylvania. Experience includes working in construction, petroleum, natural gas industries. Truck driver affiliated with the Constitution Party. Now served as chairman for the Constitution Party. So... I mean, fair. Let's see. Family business. Natural gas, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Well, that's... Before we get any further on Selker, I just wanted to check McCormick's endorsements if he had any. No. All right. That's good. So back to Marty Selker for Pennsylvania. National defense, protecting the American family. Follow and protect the Constitution. Pennsylvanians' rights. Reduce the cost of government and foreign policy. Let's hop over, see foreign policy here real quick. Approach to national defense is recruit in Pennsylvania... principles of sovereignty and diplomacy, advocate for foreign policy values that diplomacy, resolution of conflicts, and maintaining robust military capable of defending our nation, holding constitutional alliances, treaties, and evaluating international engagements to ensure they serve the best interest of American citizens. So, yeah. All right. Events. He announced his candidacy. Wow, that really strong. He wants grassroots volunteers. Cool. And wow, all right. Interesting. So, in theory, I could go in here and, in theory, endorse Marty Selker for, Senate. So, there's a part of me that, if I had the time and bandwidth, should reach out to a lot of these independent candidates and just interview them, and just do like a 30-minute interview, and then post that to YouTube and Rumble and all the other. And that's something I've got to think about. All right, and then we have Quincy McGee, independent, running for U.S. Senate to represent Pennsylvania. Declared his candidacy as for write-in in the general election, and that's it. He says this is his personal website, Renaissance Media Productions. That's the last update was in 2022, so that's not even really valid. Hey, Dave. Dropping in for a bit. Drop in, say hi. Yeah. Hey, go have fun with your kids, man. That's a hell of a lot more important. So, let's see. All right. And then, also for Senate, Hussein Tatur Aguirre. No information. He doesn't even have a website. So, yeah, that's all of your candidates for Senate in Pennsylvania. Terribly exciting, I'm sure. And we are going to move on to the last state. And I think I can do it justice here. And in 45 minutes or so. Yes, reject duckface. And alrighty, so incumbent Ted Cruz assumed office 2013, running from Texas. In 2018, he defeated Pancho Vanella in a general election. And let's see. Yeah. All right. Biography. Born in Calgary, Alberta. His two American parents were working in the Alberta oil fields in 1974. Returned to the Houston area. Graduated Baptist High School, valedictorian. Went to Princeton. Went to Harvard. Worked on positions, law clerk for Chief Justice William Rehnquist. Good man. Associate Deputy Attorney, Department of Justice. So he's definitely in and of the system. So, I don't want your book. I don't want your stupid book. I don't care how good it is. I don't want your book. Tough as Texas. Well, alright, let's get into it. Yeah, Ardent, it's amazing what a little bit of politics will do to your hairline and your chroma keying. And total blackout. Reject any Arab-sounding name. Full stop. Yep. That goes without saying. Alright, so. Sign up for campaign. No. Ted Cruz represents 30 million Texans. Passionate fighter, limited government, national security. It's expanding 529 savings accounts. Let's see, repealing Obamacare, individual mandate, imposing sanctions on terrorists who use humans as human shields, or civilians as human shields, designating North Korea as a state sponsor of terrorism, targeting Putin's Nord Stream 2, reauthorizing NASA, reauthorizing and reforming NASA. Sorry, that was me mistake. Holding dictatorships in South America accountable, ensuring accountability, additional records, yada yada yada. Oh boy. All right. Texas Energy, protecting Texans, Coastal Texas Project, Coastal Spine. Okay, so that's storm protection. Reconstructing Texas after Hurricane Harvey. That's nice. Again, this is like state level, not federal stuff, a lot of it. Growing Lone Star State, passed legislation, designated Interstate 14 extension. Okay, that's federal. Connecting Texans, I-29 Plains, future interstate. Technically federal. Prioritizing Texas's space sector. Worked with now NASA administration build, yada, yada, yada. SpaceX and all that fun stuff. Space race. Securing the southern border. There we go. School choice. Student opportunity. Tax cut job act, yada, yada, yada. That's the 529, which is like a voluntary savings plan, for those that aren't in the know. Securing the border, Coast Guard Authorization Act, Amendment, Surveillance, Maritime Border, fighting for veterans. So, let's see. Promoting Texas jobs, defending constitutional freedom, reforming immigration, improving border security, standing with law enforcement, standing up for our soldiers and veterans, leading fight for school choice, building, expanding infrastructure. Fighting to protect our elections. That's more important. Protecting athletes, championing the Second Amendment. Why can't I just click on the stupid box itself? Why this had to be a separate web page, I don't know. Advocated 10-day audit for the 2020 elections. I mean, as much as that election was interesting, that's the past. We need to focus on the future and stopping such things. Transparency, hold big tech accountable for blatant bias. Successful against the Corrupt Politicians Act, which was an attempt by Democrats to federalize elections. Yep, that's fair enough. And let's see if there's any about the 2A. Fight against stop legislation with strict Second Amendment. Argued in half of 31 states. Columbia versus Heller. Good man. Overturn the ban 5-4 decision. Awarded NRA's Carter Knight Freedom Fund. NRA, just not what they used to be. Not what they used to be. So, concealed carry reciprocity. I mean, that should be constitutional carry across the board. Just saying. Yeah, there's not a whole hell of a lot here. And then talking about his book again, a signed copy for $100. I'm sorry, I don't need a senator to sign my book. I like Ted in a lot of positions. He's a little soft in spots for me. But you know what? I mean, he beats the alternative, I guess. Let's look at his opponent, Colin Allred. Born and lives in Dallas. Graduated Hillcrest High School. Bachelor's degree from Baylor. Juris Doctorate from University of California, Berkeley. Yeah. Before elected to Congress, played football for the Tennessee Titans. Good. Don't care. Let's see. Got the law degree, practiced law, and worked at Department of Housing and Urban Development in the Obama administration. So, yeah. And Veterans Affairs Committee. That's nice. Oh, well, I mean, Ardent. He's all red. Pun intended. Damn it. And so he's a congressman. Oh, I should have gone down and looked at voting, but it's not really like it matters. So I'm surprised Pancho Vanilla didn't try to run again. So let's take again. I hate these. Like, just make it a sub bar somewhere. All right, we deserve a Senator Texas whose team is Texas. It's gonna be football analogies, just like Steve Garvey. It's all about the baseball. All red is going to be all about the football. Was born and raised in North Texas by a single mom who was a public school teacher. Growing up without a father, Colin promised himself that when he became a dad, he'd be there for his kids. He saw how he's now a loving husband and father of 2 young boys. Good man. Proudly became the first member of Congress to take paternity leave, passionate supporter of paid family leave for every American. There's a milk joke. All right. That's interesting. Make calls, block walk, write a letter to the editor, social media supporter. Interesting. All right. Meet Colin. With help of his aunt and uncle, he and his mom moved to North Dallas, lived a street apart. Went out in the YMCA camp. Summers spent in Brownsville, Texas, where his grandfather, was a customs officer after fighting in the Pacific. I don't know. That shouldn't have struck me as funny as it did, but it did. So, generosity of Texas, yada yada yada. Attended law school, went to the NFL. Going undrafted linebacker, sustained a career injury in his 5th year, required 2 screws. Oof. I vaguely remember that accident. It was kind of gruesome. A civil rights attorney. Yada, yada, yada. Obama administration in HUD, Housing and Urban Development. Secretary Julian Castro. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was something about that guy that was just not good. Let's see. In Congress, Colin has shown time and again he's more interested in getting things done than playing politics. Bullshit. He's a politician. Let's see. Bringing new VA hospital to Garland, Texas. Strengthening U.S.-Mexico trade deal. I think that was the Trump one. Passing historic investment, rebuilding roads and bridges. Yep. See a total blackout. Yeah, yes, Arden. These sports politicians do like their balls. And let's see. I mean, yeah, but sometimes the VA is the worst place to send someone. Let's see. Here we go. Colin knows that Texans are fed up with the divisive politics of Ted Cruz that pits Texans against each other. We deserve a senator who doesn't jet off to Cancun while Texans are freezing in the dark. We deserve a senator who cares more about your job, your health care, your retirement, and all your kids' education than hosting a podcast 3 times a week. Don't really care. I mean, all right, let's dive into the issue. All right, healthcare. Actually, that's not what I wanted. I wanted reproductive rights. Let's see. Strongly opposed to Supreme Court's Dobbs decision. Texas's extreme law that bans before their exception, no exceptions. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great bit of legislation, but that's something that could be easily reformed to make it less stupid, but not go the other way where it's just like, oh, you've got a baby. Well, it's state property until you decide you want it back. Oh, boy. All right. Immigration. Brownsville often spent visit. Yada, yada. I don't. Just talk to me about what the damned issues are, not what you did back in the day. Here we go. Colin is committed to solutions to ensure that those obeying the law, well, they didn't obey the law because they broke it, working hard, paying taxes, and contributing to our economy have a pathway to earn citizenship. Yeah. Whoops. Just no. Ooh, boy. Undue influence of money in politics by putting power back in the hands of the people. See, this is all going, oh, it's Citizens United. It's Citizens United. No. It's this wholesale just inability to give a damn about what's going on. All right, and oh boy. Let's see. Law enforcement. Oh, yep. He's for the storage. Yeah. Common sense, safe storage laws. Yeah. This is definitely going down the. Oh, we need to make sure that you do it the Australian way. Whether it's suicides or homicides in Texas, inner city schools, or mass shootings on our schools and places of worship, the rate of gun deaths in this state is unacceptable. Colin wants to bring Texas together to find common sense solution, protect our constitutional rights, and save lives. Yeah. So that's kind of an overview. Don't want to go into everything. I think it's just too deep a rabbit hole for in some ways, but yep. All right, let's see, and then let's see what kind of cringe merch store is. Oh, dear Lord! All Red Pride. Again, at least it's not cringe. Yes, Ardent. LOL Australian way. Store the gun trigger and barrel locked in a locked safe in a different postal code from the ammo? Absolutely. So, let's go back. Store events. Digital strategy call. Well, and again, he should have updated his damn website. Then in Espanol. Oh, look, it wants to translate it back into a real language. This is wife. Lucky man. All right. So that is Colin Allred for Senate in Texas. And then we have our Libertarian candidate, Ted Brown. Ted was born in Steubenville, Ohio. BA in Political Science, Constitutional Law, UCLA. His career experience working in industry affiliated with following organizations: Libertarian Party of Texas, Texas for Accountable Government, Amnesty International. Ooh, that could be a red flag. Liberty International, Institute for Justice, Future of Freedom Foundation, and antiwar.com. Oof, there's something cringe in that. All right. Ted Brown, Libertarian for U.S. Senator from Texas. You don't have to vote Democrat or Republican. Well, no shit. Again, another libertarian with a screed. It's just like, no, it's like, yes, I appreciate I'm not running for U.S. Senator to be a lawmaker. I'm running to repeal as many laws as I can. Good, but most people, unless they're already invested in this line of thinking, are not going to want to go in and read this wall of text with hyperlinks. It's like, hell, they're not even hyperlinks. And if they are, they're broken as hell. And I wish libertarians especially could take a look at the polish of other candidates, distill it down to the bare essentials, and leave out a lot of the bloviating. Do that in your media releases. Do that when you're being interviewed. Do that when you are getting some actual traction. So, grandson of a German, Greek, and Jewish immigrants. That's cool, but what does that have to do with making people want to vote for you? Parents moved to Wheeling, West Virginia. Worked in family business, Ethan Allen Furniture. Okay, attending Wesleyan University in Connecticut. Moved to Los Angeles. Graduated from UCLA. Political science, constitutional law. His wife Laura have been married since 1984. Cool. Lived in SoCal. Went to Austin, Wells Branch, yada, yada, yada. Joined the Libertarian Party in 1979. And active his entire adult life. Served chairman, Libertarian Party, California. That's cool, but it's not really giving me meat about who you are, why I should care about you. And I will say that not just about Ted Brown. Now, I'm maybe a little harder on Ted Brown because he's a libertarian, and I want libertarians to succeed by not wasting people's time by going on these really big principled rants. They just need to distill it down very simply to bullet points. This is bad. And this is cartoony. This is stupid. I'm sorry, Ted Brown. You might have all the positions I would like you to have. And then it opens a whole new tab. A whole new tab. The recent high-profile death of George Floyd has resulted in protests in more America. Yada yada. You know, I'm just. Wait a minute. Promote de-escalation in tense situations. Police must be trained to talk to people and listen to try. They are. I mean. Yeah. Marijuana, the war on drugs, can't keep drugs out of prisons, yada, yada, yada. The drug war has been a police excuse to harass and arrest African Americans and Latinos for decades. This must stop. See, this is why libertarians fail. I'm sorry. This is why, because they really screw up in the way they present this stuff. Foreign policy, libertarians' policy of non-interventions in affairs of other nations. Agreed, that's where it should be. Beacon of freedom and liberty. Vote against military appropriations that keep our troop in these foreign assignments. I'm good, but let's see. Some of this aid is military. Yeah, that's the. While I want to get rid of all this foreign aid, I'm also a realist and know that you can't get rid of it all in one fell swoop. And libertarians always do this. If I don't get my way, I'm taking my toys and going home crap, rather than here's step one to change the dialogue. Here's step two. Here's step three. Here is the long game. And they fail. They get wrapped up in high-mindedness and don't do what the left and most politicians do, which is think in multi-generational ways. So, Reason Magazine, Cato Institute, Brownstone Institute, Liberty International. Again, all groups that I have some approval of in the way they kind of go about things, but it's just not really winning. Yeah, and it's like I'm sorry. I'm not giving this any more time. But you don't need to go and do quotes. And I guarantee this media page will be something, not of him speaking, but of like links to better speakers than him. I was happily wrong. Yeah, to a point. So, yeah, no, I like the libertarian positions, but I just don't like the way they present themselves politically in a lot of ways. So, that's through Texas. That has been our Senate primer. Not as thorough as I think I could have been, but we're still going on an hour and 2 hours 45 minutes covering several states. So I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Hopefully it gave you some insight as to some of the Senate candidates. I'm gonna have to ponder if arranging some interviews is something I can do. And yeah, I might see with like these real minor candidates and just do some boilerplate questions, maybe half hour or so worth pre-recorded, so if they go completely batshit crazy, I can cut it out and not risk my channel, or do it all live on Rumble and have some audience questions. But if I do that, I will definitely give people a much longer heads up. And to answer your question, Ardent, I do, but we have to get through a couple more rounds of primaries to do any more than this. Because there are 33 seats up in the Senate this year. And that's a lot. Because there's like 2 special elections. And I think there's something else goofy where I think like Missouri has 2 two seats up for election, but I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. I just decided to go through like I usually do and just give you the raw, unvarnished version of my reaction to a lot of these campaign websites. I think I burned out a little bit too hard there towards the end, but Yep. Are any candidate willing to be interviewed by a channel called Bleach Demon is likely to be worth voting for. Just saying. AOC is a congresswoman. That is correct, sir. Yep. And I only do the Senate primer partly because they are a more important election, and partly because it's a lot easier doing 33 states worth of candidates when you've got 2 to 3 candidates each than going down and just doing this horrific level of BS. So, yeah. All right. Well, I think I have reached my limit on what I can say on all this, and I've got exactly 16 minutes before I have somewhere else I need to be. So, it's been fun. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope you share this with everybody. And I'm trying to be impartial with this as much as possible, but I know it's not likely. So, I thank you all. And if my scroll wheel wasn't so broken, I'd be able to do this much quicker. So, I'll catch you all later. Bleach out.